Well, our first guest is joining us right here in the studio, Vincent J. Russo, with another episode of In the Legal Know. And in this segment, we are discussing a financial tool that can make a significant difference for individuals with disabilities and their families. It's called an ABLE account. Vincent, thank you so much for being here.
Pleasure to be here, as always, and I am really excited about this topic today.
All right, yeah.
Because it helps people with disabilities, and so it's so important.
Yeah, it's so important and very near and dear to your heart as well. So let's start with the basics for people that have never heard of this. What exactly is an ABLE account?
Okay, so let's start with what ABLE means. It's the achieving a better life experience, and that's what it's all about. And so the purpose of the ABLE account is to save for disability-related expenses while maintaining government benefits. How it works, the funds are contributed to the ABLE account and they're invested, and then monies can come out of that account to pay for those related disability expenses. And people who are disabled prior to age 46 can open up this ABLE account. So think of it like a 529 plan for college savings.
Yeah.
This is like a 529 plan for people with disabilities so they can put money away without affecting their government benefits, and those funds can help them.
That's incredible, and I've never heard of this before. So what are some of the key benefits of an ABLE account?
Yeah, let me summarize them. First is protecting government benefits. What that means is that even though these monies are in that account, they don't adversely impact eligibility for SSI, Supplemental Security Income, and Medicaid. They're tax advantage, which means they can grow tax-free as long as those expenses are used according to the rules. And it can create some more financial independence. So people with disabilities can have more money for them as they go through life.
So you mentioned disability-related expenses. What kind of expenses are we talking about?
Okay, it's very broad, the definition of disability-related expenses. So think of using monies for housing, transportation, education, employment training, assisted technology. Use it for health, prevention, and wellness. Use it for legal and financial planning fees and administrative fees. And basic living expenses. So pretty much anything you can think of, the funds can be used for that individual. And so it will not affect his government benefits, and it'll improve his quality of life.
That's amazing. So let's talk more about maybe the impact on government benefits. Yeah. And you mentioned before SSI. So how does that, interact with the ABLE account?
Yeah, so let's get into it in a little more detail. And talk about how SSI works. So an individual qualifying for SSI has to be disabled and can only have $2,000. So who can manage with $2,000? So if someone was to leave an inheritance or make a gift to that individual, it could throw them off SSI. Those monies can be put into an ABLE account. You can put up to $20,000 a year in an ABLE account. Others can add to that account, and you can only have one account, though. Now, as those funds grow, let's say monies are going into that account, and they grow, the first $100,000 is totally protected, and no impact on SSI. But if it goes over $100,000, then those benefits are suspended until the money's spent down to be under $100,000. So there's a little quirk in the rules, but that's a lot of money to be put aside. So up to $100,000, no issue. Over $100,000, your SSI is suspended until you spend down. No impact on Medicaid. And these accounts can have up to, depending on the state you're in, $235,000 to $500,000. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, so my ears perked up. If the accounts can grow tax-free, is there any more to expand on that, or did you cover most of it?
No, I would say the one thing I would point out is you have to use the money for qualified disability expenses. If you don't, then that money coming out could be subject to income tax and a 10% penalty. So most people are pretty safe because the category is so broad for disability expenses.
So I heard that you mentioned that you have to be you have to become disabled before 46 years old. So what happens if that happens to you after you're 46? Is there any other options?
Yeah, so this is really important and a major change in the law. The rule used to be age 26. It became, on January 1st of this year, age 46. That means an additional roughly 6 million people could qualify for these benefits, this program, and that could really help veterans, for example. So age 46, you have to be determined to be disabled prior to that age. That's the rule.
Okay.
So you're on SSI or SSD, Social Security Disability, that qualifies you, or if you have a disability and you're not on those programs, you're going to need a physician certification. Once you pass that age, you're still in the program.
Okay. All right. That's good to know. All right. Well, we're running out of time. Real quick, though, what happens if the individual that has the ABLE account passes away?
Okay. When that individual passes away, those monies could be subject to a Medicaid estate recovery, not SSI, though, just Medicaid.
All right. Well, lots of things. Always a wealth of knowledge. Vincent, everyone can go to vjrussolaw.com. Find lots of resources on that. Thank you again, Vincent.